Hello?
Eric, we're on. How are you, mate?
Oh, we're on right now?
Nice to see you. How you are. You're live. Don't swear. Don't swear.
I don't swear. I just wanted to hear the songs that I picked play on the loudspeaker.
Well, you know what? You picked House of Pain, Jump Around, haven't you?
Yeah, I did that because of the chant on Tuesday night where we're top of the league, Jump Around.
Well, you made my dad very pleased. That's his favourite ever song.
Oh, it's a great song pre-match to get the fans into
Absolutely. And I was brought up on the Beatles as well, so you've got two out of three there as well.
Well, you can't not like the Beatles.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Tell me about Fratton Park and Pompey, though. How much have you enjoyed this season?
I mean, we've lost 4 games to date, knock wood. I'm touching wood right now, so it's been an incredible season. Late goals, extra time goals, goals from all positions, clean sheets. Surreal, but we haven't finished the job yet, so we have 5 more games to go.
It's pretty much gone to plan all season, and it's been very smooth. But we had that sort of 7-game period. I think it was 4 defeats, 2 draws from 7 games.
Right around Christmas, right?
Right around Christmas. And, of course, you've been in long enough now and long enough in the tooth like the rest of us to know what happens around Christmas sometimes at Pompey.
Yes.
So we brought in
Let me add a thing to that. Hopefully we're dispelling the myths of Pompey loses on Sky TV. What else? Pompey crumbles down in the big games. And to comment about this season, we've been on plan for the whole 7 seasons that we've had the team, and it's now you're just seeing the fruits of all the hard work from the past years. So we had to build the infrastructure first, and then you focus on the pitch. You couldn't do one before the other, so we've completely stayed on plan, and it's really rewarding to see it all kind of come together this year.
It's great you mentioned infrastructure, because it was right on the tip of my tongue, because you mentioned infrastructure a lot last time I spoke to you, which was the last game of last season. And you'd said to me there was so much we needed to do. I didn't actually realise quite how much, perhaps, particularly with the ground. But right. You'd said you had this aura last time. I think this is the 4th time we spoke. First couple of times.
I remember all that.
But last time I just came away with this excitement, because there was something about you personally that I just felt.
Well, it's not the sexiest thing, but it's essential.
Yeah.
Because the stadium was falling down, the city council was going to condemn it to like 10,000 people. These were changes that had to be made, and unless you're really in the know, you don't see it all, but it's necessary to get the club where it needs to be. I'm glad that you appreciated that when we came up and talked about it. Again, it's not the sexiest thing, but it's absolutely necessary in building a club to where it needs to be.
And you said, and you're echoing what you said before, but it was about the ground's done. The training facilities, they're done. You've got your sporting director at last, which I know you wanted from the beginning. You couldn't because of Kenny. Then
absolutely
you had
right.
Maybe I know the Cowleys came in with the knowledge that there was a sporting director, but maybe didn't quite get along with it as well as you perhaps thought he would or they would.
Well, I mean, to speak to them, they're great. We love them. But I think Rich Hughes and John are really gelled together as a team, and I think that's absolutely essential. One is thinking about the long term, and Rich has been excellent in picking the players and picking the targets, and John has been excellent in developing in them. And they're very close, which is, I think, really a reason why we've gotten here. And the one example I use is Kamara. If you look at him in the beginning of the year, his finishing wasn't there like it is now. And that will help us out in the future, because clubs will look at how we've developed players, and they will be willing to give us their big players and stuff like that if we need loans, which we don't want to depend on loans, but we will have a few loans here and there.
Yeah. And it's like, again, it felt last season, we'd had a little bit of a run with Messino, of course, but at the end of the season, that final game, I did feel as though you just felt, this is it now, this is our season. This is the one where perhaps you as owners could be judged the most, because to quote your phrase, brick by brick, it felt as though you'd done that. You put the foundation down, you put the bricks down. It's time to see the house now. It felt to me like you'd said to me as well, it's time we get it done on the pitch now. This is where we go. Everything's here and ready for you this season, it felt.
And we had, and part of those bricks were Rich Hughes and his scouting staff and collecting the right players. And now it's his 3rd window, and so we really had confidence in all the people that he wanted. So we were very aggressive in the market. We wanted to start our business early this year, and then we wanted to strengthen in January. So I think the one thing we learned is from the past Januaries is that you're going to have injuries no matter what, and everybody's going to have injuries, but you've got to bring in players that are going to play for you for the end of the year, so your bench is strong to finish the season.
How much did you use that experience in January? Because we brought in an unprecedented amount of players from your tenure here in January. Was there the sort of ghost of the past where you thought we didn't get it over the line because we didn't bring in enough? Or was there always a plan to bring in as many as we did? Or was it reactive? Did you look at those results and those injuries and sit down together and say, we do need to get a few extra bodies in and get this over the line?
That's actually a very good question. I think the latter, in that it was a little bit reactive, and we had a shot to go up, and we said we're going to take this shot, and it was what you said, injuries, Reagan Poole, Joe Morrell. I mean, you can go down the list, and these weren't just one-month injuries, these were season-long injuries. So we were in good position, and we said, let's go for it. So it was reactive. We obviously would have planned for a strong January, but we did react and went extra aggressive to try to get it over the line.
So what would have been the number had we not had to make those signings? What were you looking at pre-January window? Maybe 2 or 3?
It's like we don't think like that. We kind of, how it comes to us, we see where the situation's at, and then you determine. So it wasn't like we had a number set. It was like, this is the situation we're at. What do we need to go up? Our goal was always to go up, and it was to really put the foot on the gas. So we did that.
Have you dared to think about the championship yet? Have you thought about maybe there's a derby against that lot up the road in the next season? Or can you do that to yourself yet?
I'd be lying if I'd say no, because there's a lot of planning that has to go into all of it. So, it's like looking at a huge mountain in the horizon that you have to climb, but you can't go there until you finish scaling down this mountain. So right now it's focused on this, but again, you'd be lying if you didn't see the mountain in front of you and say, I can't wait to get to that one.
I celebrated promotion after we beat Reading in February. It was done for me, but I don't own the club. I don't have to answer to people. How close are we, though? I mean, we're actually there. I mean, we win today. Are you going to let yourself say, I think that's got to be it?
I'm going to feel very good about it, but I'm still not going to. I'm going to take it with Rich and Tony. Rich and John. It's game by game at this point. It's a hard run in. So, until it's really, really clinched, I'm not going to lay it down.
And how much can you enjoy it once it's done before you have to get right back to doing the job all over again?
We've already started doing the job again.
Right.
So you have to stop mentally and take a break and enjoy it, and that's on you, but it's naive to think that we're not already planning.
Thank you, Eric. Thanks so much for your time. Great to see you, and next time I see you, we'll be in the championship, I'm sure of it.
You heard it from him, not from me. All right, thanks.
Thank you.